fulfilled the requirements of the Presidential Elections Act. Therefore, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179, Laws of Uganda. You are now a candidate. Congratulations. The nominator, can you stand up, please? Nantumbwe Jen is here. Nominator. Seconder, Jago Fred, the seconder. All right. You can remain seated. Okay.
To the people who may be joining this occasion for the first time here and online, we are at the EC grounds in Rubowa, Rweza, in Makinde Sabagabo. And this place is the first permanent home for the headquarters of the Electoral Commission in Uganda. And going forward, this is going to be the venue, the place where presidential candidates are nominated, and the set for this 2025-2026 general election being the first ones that have been nominated from grounds that belong to the Electoral Commission, that belong to the people of Uganda, because this is your commission, this is your Electoral Commission. And so those who are watching online and following on TV and other platforms, the Commission has now instructed the technical teams here to verify and check all the particulars that are required of an aspirant for presidential elections, to participate in the presidential elections as a candidate. So that's what the Commission has asked the teams here that are from the legal department of the Commission, the voter data management department, election management, field operations, to check those particulars that are required. and they are checking those particulars which the aspirant was informed to bring as they submit their nomination papers. The nomination form filled in triplicate, 3 copies, a declaration of consent that the aspirant consents to being nominated, confirming that the aspirant is a registered voter, is a citizen of Uganda by birth, and confirming, as the Commission said, as required by the law, that the aspirant has got the minimum academic qualifications, that they have attained at least advanced level standard or senior 6. So they are checking to confirm that the aspirant went to school. They are also confirming and checking those other particulars. The certificate indicating that the aspirant obtained the required numbers of supporters as required by the law. That the aspirant has paid the required nomination fee of 20 million shillings. So that's what is happening. That is, yeah. We thank members of the press for keeping the country and citizens of Uganda and everybody that is watching these proceedings, for keeping them informed of what is happening, because this is their exercise. This is the exercise of the people of Uganda, and what the Commission is doing is fulfilling that responsibility that it has. So we thank you, members of the press, for, since yesterday, actually since the roadmap started, the roadmap to the 2025-26 general election was first launched in July 2023, and again revised and relaunched in the presence of stakeholders in August 2024. And over time, a number of milestones on that roadmap have been undertaken, including demarcation of electoral areas at local government level, the organization of polling stations, mapping of persons with disabilities to polling stations, the first major nationwide mapping of persons with disabilities to establish who they are, where they are, what kind of disabilities they have, what needs to be done to ensure that there is greater inclusivity in the electoral process by persons with disabilities. And one of the things that the Commission has done and endeavors to do is to make sure, for instance, that on events of this nature and others, that there is sign language interpretation or translation. And you can see we have Mebo Murunji there for those who understand the language of sign language. And then the Commission undertook the update of the National Voters Register. Period was given when voters who had the opportunity to, those who are not on the register, to register as voters. Those who were new voters to register as new voters after attaining the required age. There was also the opportunity for those who wish to make transfers from one voting location to another to do so as provided for in the law. There was a period for the display of the voters register at the various levels. And fast forward now, we are in this nomination process, which started with nominations at local government level, and elections of special interest groups, the youth, older persons, and persons with disabilities. And now we are here for nominations for the people that are aspiring to the top position in the land. And when the roadmap was announced, 23rd and 24th of September looked to be very far. But now we're on the last day, 24th. So you're welcome.
Well, what is happening right now is the commissioners of the Electoral Commission are perusing through the documents of Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who happens to be the NUP flag bearer and the sixth person today and yesterday who have come at the proposed site for the Electoral Commission headquarters. That is the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama. I see him doing some mathematics, doing some calculation there, signing papers. Well, this is a tough time because before he pronounces himself that you've been duly, let me just wait for that statement. Maybe he's about to speak. Well, before he pronounces himself, you cannot be very sure because we saw Elton Joseph Mabirizi. Okay, let's listen.
Distinguished guests. We've been scrutinizing and verifying the nomination papers of the aspirant, and we are satisfied he has fulfilled the requirements of the Presidential Elections Act. Therefore, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179, Laws of Uganda. You are now a candidate. Congratulations.